Oh, I'm so grateful to be in this space in the cloud or however internet works. So if any of you watching want to see that beautiful poem and letter Sarah read, you can find it on 3Views website, 3viewstheater.com. And as mentioned, every week we post a new, we call them reflections, and you can find Octavio's poem, prayer there, as well as essays, prayers, rants, you name it. And we are hopefully going to be able to do that until we get out of this mess. And we are also featuring productions that were affected by COVID-19. And one of them is The Hot Wing King, which was closed in the middle of its run. And I'm proud to say they're all here. So before Julia and Sarah and Natasha disappear from the ether, I would love to toast to 3Views, because we had always been planning to have this virtual, this launch party in the lobby. So I'm grateful that it's still happening in some regard. So a toast to 3Views and celebrating all of the shows that were canceled or suspended or postponed in the hopes that someday they won't be and that they can come back. And for now, you can see all of that on 3Views website. So thank you, Sarah and Julia and Natasha. And I would love to bring on the Hot Wing King cast. So reveal yourselves. It's like magic. Woo!
Did I miss the toast?
Yeah. Well, we're going to toast again. We can toast many times.
Okay.
Make sure you're unmuted.
All right.
Oh my gosh, look, we're the Brady Bunch, but we're brown. It's great.
Yes. Right.
Thank you for joining, everyone. I'm so thrilled to celebrate you all. I never got to see it, unfortunately, but now we can relive our Hot Wing King fantasy. So before we begin this conversation, I'd love for all of you to introduce yourselves, say who you are, your role or position on the show, where you're quarantining, and whatever you want. So Katori, do you want to start us off?
Bye.
Bye bye.
That's our call sign. So I'm Katori Hall. I am of the Hot Wing King.
Yes, you are.
I am quarantining, doing my quarantine.
New York strong. That's great. Steven.
What up, everybody? Steve H. Broadnax III. I'm the director of Hot Wing King, was the director. And I am quarantining in State College, Pennsylvania.
All right. Okay. Toussaint, I'm looking at you.
Hello. I'm Toussaint Jean-Louis. I play Cordell. I am currently in New York City as well.
Yes, New York. Eric, where you at?
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Eric B. Robinson Jr. I play TJ in the play. And y'all, I had to get out of New York, and I am currently in Texas right now, Fort Worth, Funky Town, Texas.
All right. Well, Texas is crazy, so good luck. Okay.
Yeah, right. We're staying inside over here in Texas.
Yeah, protect yourself. Cecil.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Cecil Blutcher. I played Everett. I am quarantining in Uptown Manhattan, up past Dykeman, where they never shut up. So I'm having a good time, though.
As a Dominican, I know how you feel. I'm sorry for my people, but we also love it.
I love it, too.
Nico.
What's going on, everybody? I am Nico Annan, and I play Big Charles in the amazing The Hot Wing King. You know what I'm saying? Get your shape up and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Corey.
Yep, Corey Jackson. I play Dwayne, and I'm in Newark, New Jersey.
All right. We got most of people in the East Coast, but yeah. And then I didn't say I'm in Brooklyn, so yeah, New York.
I'm in Brooklyn too. I didn't get to introduce myself.
I know you were next. You were next. Go ahead, Sheldon.
I'm Sheldon Best. I played Isom, and I am quarantining in Brooklyn.
Awesome. What part?
I'm like a couple blocks from Prospect Park.
I'm in Crown Heights. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we neighbors.
Oh yeah. I gotta get to the park. Did I get everybody?
It's crowded.
All right. Well, thank you all for that. And so first I wanna just like uplift this beautiful play. And so for those of us who didn't get to see it, like me, who wants to say what the play is about? It could be Katori, it could be anybody. You could all do it together. Give us a little one of those chants from the play.
We like to do things together, but I'll start it off.
Okay.
Oh, my hot wing king! How I miss it so. So the Hot Wing King is set in Memphis, Tennessee, my hometown, and it is right before the annual Hot Wing Festival. And it centers around Cordell Crutchfield and his culinary clique called the New Wing Order. It includes his beau, Dwayne, his friends, Isom, Big Charles, and, you know, this is the year that they think they're going to take their hot chicken crown because he got a new recipe and it is good. So, you know, this weekend is all set to be focused on this amazing, you know, event. But we have a person who comes in. Like
that was perfectly timed. Theater baby.
On his cues.
That was great.
So basically, the weekend is usurped by Dwayne's nephew, EJ, who is in need of some help. And, you know, that is the kind of basic premise of the play. But I think what people really loved about the show was that it's more than just about hot wings. It's more than just about cooking. It is about family, I keep on saying. Seeing these two men, Dwayne and Cordell, in love. As the play goes on, it's revealed that Cordell has given up his life. You know, he was married, or is actually still. And he has a family, and he has decided to, you know, reboot his life and move forward into the future with Dwayne. And so, you know, it's about love. It's about so many things. It's about moving forward. It's about dismantling these ideas of masculinity and also fatherhood. So, but it's all told through hot wings.
I love it.
The moment that they gather together, it's this beautiful ritual. I find that Black folks in general, we got so many rituals, and their rituals are on display, full display up in this play.
And food is love, so that's a good start.
Absolutely. And anybody else can throw in what, you know, more about the play.
Yeah, I want to hear, what are all y'all what are your favorite moments from the play, whether Steve, like from when you were directing, actors, from when you were living your best lives, from like friends who were audience members that saw it. What are some of those best moments that are your favorites? Anybody could start.
Who's going? Well, for me, I'll just start off. For me, one of the best things with the play in general is literally just being on stage with 5 other Black men. You know, like that was amazing to play with and to be a part of that experience, and to have an experience on stage altogether that was not rooted in trauma, you know, but was more so about the celebration of our lives, our lifestyle, and the family bond of it all. So. Oh, that's my little nugget.
I love that.
You know? But I got a lot of good moments.
We need that. And that's why it needs to come back.
I love like when you talked about the rituals. I love the different rituals that are in the play. One of the ones that I loved was the music in the play, and sometimes that music was just in like how people talk to each other, the rhythms of how they talk, but then the actual music as well. There was a section where we all sang some Luther Vandross, and that was one of my favorite moments. It just felt like something that, you know, happens all the time when we get like, you know, when the family gets together at the cookout and there's a song that comes on or somebody starts singing something, and then it just kind of fills the whole place with life. And I that kind of like buoyed the play. And I think it really gave some people a way in that didn't have another way into the play until that point.
Mm-hmm.
They would see that and be like, oh, but everybody loved Luther. Everybody loves music. Everybody can, you know.
That's awesome. That must have made rehearsals fun.
And scary, because I was actually playing that live and I had to learn that.
That's right. Anybody else want to offer? Go ahead, Cecil.
I'll jump in. I'll say there's so many things, but what's really on my mind, because we're stuck inside and I can't go outside and I want to do it right now, is playing basketball. I got to play that every day. We had a fight call just to warm up and work on the moves. And it's one of those rituals, speaking of cookout vibes, like I have vivid memories of like doing some type of activity, like while the food's being prepared or after food's done. I just love that. It gave way to so many memories, and that moment in the play was so special too. So yeah, that's what's on my mind right now. Is playing that.
I'm just thinking about like all the moments that we created while on our feet on stage, just the trust that we had with one another to fully be present in every moment, which I think led to a lot of bright moments that came up, moments where I could not laugh at stage laugh at Nico or Sheldon. But yeah, I think that building that family and that brotherhood, I mean, I think what you saw was real, and every night it only got stronger and better.
Well, as a director myself, that probably is a big nod to Steve, because it takes a good leader to make everybody feel vulnerable and happy to give their best selves. Yeah. So Steve.
Listen, this was my dream job, period.
Oh.
First of all, by the genius Katori Hall, her intellect, her creativity, hands down, a genius Katori Hall. Then, like Nico said, to work with these men, men of color, it's a dream. The talent they brought to the table, I always thank them for their service each day they came to the theater and bringing the depth that they had to, and the humanity they had to these men and family and love. This was a pleasure every day. It was a dream job. So I can't ask for a better situation than to work with these men on this play.
You just made me cry. Because I don't know about y'all, but like I know, I mean, I can only imagine. It's been a hard week. I mean, it's always hard, just right now, and so I was looking forward to this. I think we can do more of it. And you know what? 3Views brought all y'all back together.
I know. I haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't opened.
Yeah.
Supposed to Zoom, and it didn't happen. But we gonna Zoom after this, because we got some catching up to do.
I love it. So, thinking about, because I know like everyone's experience with this pandemic is different. I was in the middle of rehearsing a play. You guys were in the middle of your run. What was that like to be, in the hype of the show, running the show? You guys opened March 1st, right?
Yeah.
So you only had 11 performances? And you had like another week and a half left.
We had 3 weeks of previews before, but officially, we only had 11.
That's
after.
I know people were excited to see it, like me, and we didn't get to.
It was crazy because I remember, I think it was either the day before we got that call. I ran up into the ticketing office, and I was like, I got folks trying to get in. They on the website. They trying to get, groups of tickets. They can't get shit. And they were like, because it's sold out. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. Our last week is sold out. And then boom, like all of those possibilities of connecting with people who hadn't seen the play. There were people who were coming back to see the play. And for me, the one thing that I was so brokenhearted about was that we did not get to have our blackout night.
Blackout night, yes.
Oh, yes.
We had, I don't know about y'all, but I know for me, wanting to see this play, which, people have billed as a comedy, but I kind of feel, it's it's more of a dramedy. But I think, you know, I wanted the audience, or rather I wanted to see the play in front of an audience that kind of understood, you know, the hidden transcript, who understood and knew.
So for those people who might not know what a blackout night is, can you kindly tell them?
It's just a night dedicated specifically to Black folks, folks with an X, you know, in that theater. You know, this play was written, you know, from a deep place of love. It's actually based on my brother.
Oh.
It's definitely like, you know, speaking of, you know, just love in our community, and I wanted to see a reflection of him and the love that I had seen him express to his man, and I wanted everyone to see that and be in the room with that, and and know that, you know, it's normal and it's regular, it's beautiful, that intimacy. And I really wanted our folks to be able to be the kind of critical barometer of it, versus what we kind of got before, in terms of audience and in terms of critical response. I didn't care what nobody else said. I wanted to hear the laughter of Black folks, because I knew they was gonna get things that other people weren't gonna necessarily sing. And that to me was very devastating. Which is interesting because it was just one night. I was just kind of like, you know, of course I love the fact that there were so many people who came to see the show of all different kinds. We actually ended up having very diverse audiences, but there was something about wanting to see how that play lived in front of a Black audience that I was really looking forward to. And I think, you know, other people felt the same way.
Definitely. I remember not first preview, the dress rehearsal, invited dress rehearsal. By virtue of who we invited, it was like a mini blackout night. Now they were all only situated in the because I think they had photos taken that day and stuff. So they put our guests in the balcony. So the audience was a little further away, but you could hear how they were responding. It was the best first dress rehearsal that I can remember having, because it let me know before we went into shows with like general New York City audiences, this show works for the people it's made for the people it's written for the people who they understand every reference. This show really, really works. And then when we got mixed audiences, it was like, the show still works, but you can tell who's really tuned into certain things and who is learning learning at the play. And so I was really glad that we got that dress rehearsal, but it was really, really heartbreaking that we didn't get to do blackout, especially because I wanted to hear people singing and dancing Luther in the aisle.
Y'all remember those questions where like people at the talkbacks would say, does everybody know Luther? Does everybody know this? You know, I think it was really cool to be able to, for even people that are not Black, to experience the play with a diverse audience, because they were informed by not only what we were doing on the stage, but the responses from it. You know, whether that was the listing of all these different types of chicken wings, you know, and how, like, I'll never forget, there was this one at the top of the show, Sheldon's character Isom is tasting all these wings that Cordell has made, and it's the lemon pepper wet, the blueberry birds, the hot, what else is it, Tucson?
Hot.
Yeah. There was this woman like in the third row, and like I'm watching the game on TV, and she was like, oh, that sounds good. You need to throw me one of them. Like, she said it out loud, because we're really cooking. Yeah, we're really cooking on stage, so you know, like, you can smell the food.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. This is a real experience. Katori Hall gonna be playing with it. She throw you in the sauce.
Shout out to the prop department, because they they signature props slayed those wings. So, and then these guys made them on stage as well. So,
so y'all learned.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Wait, so where did these recipes come from? Katori, did you write them or provide them, or?
Yeah, I was like, I kind of made it up, and we was looking. I had said it was infused with something, but we had left it out for a long time. Bourbon. So, what's your line? I didn't forget. I wrote it.
bourbon infused
Crumble bacon.
Crumble bacon parmesan.
Spicy Alfredo. Spicy
Spicy
Alfredo.
Alfredo.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Spicy
was this
Alfredo chicken wings with bourbon infused crumble bacon.
so was this an auditory experience? Like, were you people eating and watching, or were y'all just eating and performing?
People ate beforehand, like the signature. They had even like people. They sold hot wings, and they had a hot
Oh
wings
my God.
contest. Like who had, wasn't it something like that, Steve? Like people that could
Eat the most hot wings in the lobby. So they always sold out every time they sold the Memphis style wings, which a question mark, but they had wings in the lobby that they would.
Wow.
And then these gentlemen would eat. I know that. Have you all eaten wings since? Because y'all ate wings every day for a long
I
time.
have wing craving.
Funny thing,
yes.
Props gave me the rest of the wings, and I made some through quarantine.
Wow.
I took that on the last day. I was like, I will take this. Thank you.
Okay.
I have not had wings since the show closed, and I've only craved it once. I remember y'all would go to, what was that place around the corner from the theater? We would go sometimes, and y'all would order wings. Eric, you would order wings.
Shorties.
Shorties. And Eric would be ordering wings, and I'm like, how are you still eating this chicken?
Well, I wasn't really eating
I had
wings.
to eat the most. You didn't eat that many
Yeah.
on the show. I ate the most.
That's funny. Well, I make a couple wing recipes, so we're gonna have to
What's
see.
your favorite?
Mine, I make a lemon pepper buffalo situation. It's really good. I don't know if it's the lemon pepper dry or the lemon pepper wet. I have to get back to you. Yeah, it sounds like a wet situation. So Katori, this was your final play in residence, right? At Signature?
Sadly, it was my play.
What a finish.
They're inviting me back. I think so.
Wait, say that again. Say that again.
I feel like they might, ask me back. We'll see. But no, I think once you are a part of the Signature family, you're always a part of the Signature family. So, just to kind of explain it to people who are watching, I think Signature has like 3 levels of playwrights, and so I was in residency 5, where you're supposed to write 3 plays over 5 years. It took me 8 years to write my 3 plays because I had 2 babies.
Wow. Congratulations.
But they were extremely supportive, as a working mama. They would, block out dressing rooms for me when I had to go and breastfeed. I remember, having to set a quilt on the floor while like my baby kind of like, practiced, tummy time while I was like, working with the director, back in the day at the earliest parts of my residency. And so it's just such an amazing opportunity to have a theater commit to 3 new works. So rare, particularly in New York theater.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you. When did you start writing Hot Wing King?
So I started, we gotta tell them the story.
Oh, I want to know.
This play would not.
Yeah, go ahead, Katori. I'll let you tell it.
Now you gonna tell it too.
Me and Katori, I worked with Katori before. I directed her show, The Mountaintop, at in Pennsylvania, it's right outside of Philly. And one day, we were going to get some breakfast at McDonald's. That's the crazy thing. I think, over an egg McMuffin and some pancakes. She started telling me about her brother. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. She's from Memphis. So it's like down the road from each other. It's like 2 hours away, an hour and a half away. And we were just talking about home in the South, and she was telling me about her brother. And I was, at the end of the conversation, I was like, Katori, that's your next play, girl. She was like, you think? Katori is out. And I was like, yeah, that's your next play. That's it right there. She's like, well, you know what? I'm gonna write a couple of scenes and send them to you. And you tell me what just to look at. Now, that went on for like 3 years, I want to say.
It went on for a long time. Like, he would be emailing me, and I'm like, boy, don't get out my damn emails. He better. 5 things at once. I was like, they was pulling me in London, work on the musical. Then I was like working on the TV show, and then I was writing like multiple scripts on the TV show. I was like, I ain't got time.
And making eyeballs in your stomach and stuff. Like, what?
It was just a lot. It was a lot. Like I said, sometimes you need a midwife, right? And I would say Steve was definitely the midwife to this play. And I think I ended up sending you the first draft 2018.
Yep.
End of October 2018. And then ended up having a reading, and it was just it was divine. I was like, this is divine order. And then I remember Signature, Paige Evans had took over Signature by that time, after Jim's passing, and so supportive. And I remember us having that meeting, and we're like, okay, we're going to commit to this, and we're just going to continue pushing it forward. And I just knew that I wanted the person who had helped bring the baby into the world to direct the play.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
That
I
partnership.
was honored.
Wouldn't have happened without him, so.
It was a dream job. So yeah, Hot Wing Kings. And shout out to Paige and Beth, our line producer, Rob. I sound like a rapper. Our set designer, Michael. Emilio was good on the costumes. Lighting, Alan. Did I miss anybody? Lighting, sound. I mean, everybody, they just worked. It was a beautiful.
Michael
Carnahan. Manager. I mean, it was just a beautiful.
Laura.
Aww. So with Katori, is it safe to say that the theater's Signature's investment in you is really what brought the magic of Hot Wing King, helped it along?
Absolutely, because I just knew that I was going to have that support.
Mm.
It's so hard for playwrights, period, but I think, very specifically playwrights of color, even more specifically, Black female playwrights, to get that very strong support. Like, we are going to commit to you, not just one work, and not the whole thing of oh, you hot this season, and so we're gonna grab onto it. But if you bring us your next play, we ain't gonna do it. Everything that I would bring up, and not everything that I wrote, was considered production, but the fact that I was even able to use the facility for readings for other things, or I almost got married because I wrote it there, because I was like, I didn't let have this wedding.
You were really at home, okay.
But I decided, okay, I ain't gonna make them feel like that's too much. But it's it really did feel like home, and it's just so rare, and particularly as we have kind of emerged through what is an extreme rupture in our theater world. The fact that there will never be a normal again. I don't.
Yeah.
The fact that I was able to get so much, they just lifted me up, and I'm afraid as to what is going to happen when we get to the other side.
Yeah, I'm with you, and that's really why 3Views, as the editor speaking it, and because I'm a director and a playwright and a producer, so this just the mere action of being able to take the little tiny bits of a show and put it online and say, look, don't forget about this show. It was affected by it, whether it was in rehearsal or tech or previews or performance. Don't forget about it, because what if the theater changes their website and it goes away? I don't want we don't want the Lilies, everybody at 3Views doesn't want to forget it. So this felt like a very natural thing to bring all y'all together.
And I would say we were one of the lucky ones, because at least we were able to do most of our run.
Yeah.
At least we had audiences. I mean, there were people who were about to go into rehearsal.
I know. Yeah.
It's like everyone was kind of at a different, moment when it came to when the lights being turned off. And so I'm actually really saddened about the people who had the almost world premieres, like people, they have rehearsed it and then no one was able to see it. And I pray that the theaters where those plays were about to, happen, they keep their commitment to those plays and to those playwrights, and kind of as we step past it, step through it, I hope that those theaters will remember what happened and produce those plays, produce those playwrights.
Well, everybody can just send them the 3Views website and show them. So, to everyone, are there any shows from, I know we've all got theater people friends that were either in rehearsals or performances or tech, are any shows that you didn't get to see because you were running every night that were closed prematurely that you are, missing or want to see on 3Views?
All the Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
I love C.A. Johnson's work.
Yes.
Yeah, I got an opportunity to see it. It was beautiful. It was great.
I was so brokenhearted that I didn't get a chance to see it. I had read it and I was just like, ooh, how is this? How are they going to put this on stage? She's so like big in terms of her theatrical mind.
Yes.
I really wanted to see that.
Go ahead.
I also wanted to see Blues for an Alabama Sky. Actually, the night that everything shut down, I had tickets to Blues for an Alabama Sky.
Yes. Yes. Isn't that, was that LA?
It was
LA.
Directing that? Yeah, that's right.
L.A. Williams.
I was directing Guadalupe del Carmen's Sweet and Honey for Labyrinth and Soul project.
Oh, okay.
That would have been a world premiere. That was sad. And it was like an all Dominican cast, director, and playwright. Ooh, that hurt.
Yeah.
Anybody else you want to shout out? I know it's okay. You can. I'll get emails later, I'm sure.
There's so many. I would
I know
say,
there are.
To all just the acting community right now, there's a lot going on. There's a lot at stake. We're in the midst of our unions in the midst of elections at a time when no one's working. The future looks really bleak in terms of a timeline. And now they're getting news about health insurance and hikes in premiums and so my mind has been on the acting community a lot, specifically the theater acting community, because it's when the theaters aren't open, there is no income for the theater actor. In other unions, if you're fortunate enough to work in TV and film, you have some residuals that might come in, you have some things there, but theater actors, it's a very, very vulnerable time. And so I'm just our community needs to come together and figure out how we're going to survive this this long road that looks like we're on right now.
I guess I should start learning how to like Zoom, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
sure. Like the whole opportunity for us to bring our production to 3Views, I think is actually a part of something that is on the page of tomorrow. Meaning, I feel like theaters and organizations have an opportunity here during this pandemic to kind of hit the reset button and rethink things that have been antiquated for a long time in terms of the stories that they tell, in terms of how artists are compensated, like Corey is talking about, in terms of the audiences that reach the work and the work for those audiences. I think that there's something that can be done through this medium and developing it further, to increase the subscription base, because, theater is traditionally, or can be traditionally, I won't say is, it can be traditionally for certain demographics, whether that's age or ethnicity or whatever, but I think that there's a way that organizations and theaters can really take the opportunity of this pandemic to really reset and restructure how things are done if we are all smart,
Amen. Yes.
Because we're all affected. Obviously, I'm thinking as an actor, but it's a community. Writers, directors, we're all theaters. We're all. It's truly, we talk about like a family. You can't make theater without all of those folks, and so it's really a time where all of those different designers, all of those people to come together and to figure out stage managers, sorry, all the, how we move forward together. And, right now it's a very tricky time because everyone is trying to figure out their own little piece, I think. But I think we have to come to a point where all those different groups can sit down and figure out, well, how do we move forward together, is going to be, I think, the most fruitful way to go about this,
Yeah, and I love what you said about it being an opportunity, like a new opportunity, because I know I've been guilty of it. We all been guilty of, like, I'm tired of Zoom, another Zoom meeting, another Zoom reading. And I was doing one of those Zoom readings, and the playwright, shout out Camilo Almonacid, he said, yo, this medium is not dead. We can see when you're just bored and you're just looking at your script. We can see that you don't give a F. We can see that. He's like, create a sensory experience in your space. I'm hitting my microphone, I'm sorry. But he said, create a sensory experience. That inspired me and woke me up. And it's true. I'm here to say it's not dead. The internet's not dead. Zoom is not dead. You can create magic in your space. And we're going to do that.
I love that. It's as a director, and I've been doing some of these Zoom readings, it's interesting that when we're physically in the theater, we're supposed to act like we're dead and not speak or laugh a bit loud or clap inappropriately, which is why I think we love nights like a Latinx night or a blackout night, because we don't do that. But on Zoom, when the chat is live, and you see people responding and giving you love, it's such a different, right now I'm fascinated anthropologically in that, where we're now as audience members, we want to reach out more to let the actor know that they are feeling the love and participation, because we can't hear each other because we're all in our homes. It's such a moment we're in. And I think I hope that we'll forget that when we go back to the theater, where we give each other more of a response and a reaction when we're being able to share air again and oxygen. That's just that's just the thing that I've been thinking about lately every time I go on a Zoom event. So.
No, I think that's real. I mean, I think that when you talk about it in terms of theater, it comes down to, even with this, where, I think it was Natasha that was like a pseudo stage manager and saying, okay, guys, and this is your cue light to go, or this is that, meeting with your director and having a face-to-face conversation, whether it's 6 feet apart across the table. I mean, because we were all around a big horseshoe table anyway, but whether that's a conference that I'm meeting with Steve and he would say, Nico, this moment right here in Act 2, think about this, or let's fine tune this, and then Katori is on the call and giving other notes about what the intention of a moment was intended to be. Connection is what you choose to make out of it, we all are here. We all are on different social media platforms for entertainment, for information, what have you. There's no reason why we can't create and be compensated and entertain, educate, and continue to do the things that art is intended to do, and not be confounded by the space or the building. Just like church. Church ain't a building. Theater is not a building. Theater lives in you. Theater lives in the words when I read her script.
Yeah, when we get back, when we get back.
Come on.
I'll say when we get back to the audience too.
We ready.
But when we get back to audience too, I like that feedback doesn't have to stop. I think it's giving them space and letting them know that they can talk back like church. I love when Dominique Morisseau gave that letter explaining how to watch the plays and it's okay to give feedback. I love it. It's all feedback. I don't mind when they talk when we're doing it. I learn what's good and what's not, especially with the young folks, the high school. They'll tell you oh, what was that? And I'm like, yeah, I guess that was BS. I need to work on that. And so yeah, I think it can happen. We just gotta give space. So many people don't come to the theater because they feel like they're not welcome in their experience. There's not space for their experience, which is not just seeing the play. It's the space to have an experience with the performers and the production. The whole thing is a thing. And when you squash that, you are squashing and stifling everyone's taking in of the art.
Amen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see. So
I find that I've worked with students, and I find that when students go to see theater, sometimes the teachers will say like, all right, now this is what you do. You sit down, you shut up, you watch the play. If you want to talk after the play. And anytime I've chaperoned one of those groups, or if ever I'm like in a talk back with students, one of the things that if that kind of thing comes up, I'm like, no. Like definitely you should feel free to participate, just not this way, not to the person next to you, participate this way. That laughter, that breathing, that crying, that screaming back, and that, no, don't do it. Like when I was, there's a part of the play where my character puts too much of this really, the hottest pepper extract in the world into the pot of the chicken that they're gonna, and he like, ruins their chances of winning first prize, basically. But when I would do it, it happened in like 3 different bits. So there was like a moment in between. And during that moment, sometimes you would hear people talking back and trying to tell me, no, don't do that. Oh, that's too much. And I lived for that thing. I lived for that communion with the audience. That's the thing that I miss a lot right now, is that, what is theater gonna be like if you can't have everybody in the seats, And but I'm looking forward to the opportunities that we have to redefine how people take in theater, how people consume theater. It is not a dead art form where you sit down and shut up.
Never.
It actually has never been that, but we have taught ourselves that is the etiquette.
Yep.
So I love the idea of being able to retrain and reteach ourselves how to consume this art.
And Cecil, to what you said, it's very exciting, I think, to see. I was talking to a couple of commercial producers, and they were saying the energy is not ever going back to where we were. Like, the world has changed. We won't go back. But exciting to see with like your generation, other people, how we move forward with this medium, you know what I mean? And again, it's just the theater goers that get an opportunity to experience story gets expanded. I think this is great. I mean, when was a time, I can't remember before now, you get to talk with Katori Hall and see her in her house and talk with her directly. I mean, there's something to that, to humanize that, to allow people to know that they can too. She's a normal person. She's a genius.
Ooh, Steve, you're muted.
It's just I'm excited to see how it expands when we move forward. That's exciting what you said, Cecil, and I'm excited to see what happens.
You are all so brilliant and wonderful, and I hope you had as much fun as I have. And I'm just so grateful to celebrate Hot Wing King once again. And I hope you all enjoyed being together just for a little moment.
For sure.
That's beautiful.
You're so at our time. I hope everybody got something out of this, but we're
you gonna call me out like that, huh? Well, look,
you can close us out, Eric.
I'll say this. Go ahead and put some fire emojis in there if you're on the live right now. Let me see some fire emojis. What I want to say is, like, you see the energy that these men bring to this Zoom meeting. This is the type of energy that we had in the rehearsal space and on actual stage every day, every night. And I believe that this energy is infectious because I really see a lot of fear proliferating through the ether, right? And people are just like, oh, what do we do? I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. But I think this is the American ingenuity. This is the creativity that we need to move forward. And I'm so excited, especially after hearing y'all, man. Thank you, men. Thank you, Katori. Thank you, Steve, man. This is the type of energy that we need to keep moving forward. And I think 3Views is doing a great job and pushing us into that direction. So thank you, Lilies. Thank you, 3Views. Thank you, Signature Theater. Let's keep pushing this, y'all. And it's not dead.
That's the perfect close. I knew you got it, Eric. Good job.
Come on. Come on. Y'all know it's like 7 o'clock right now, so everybody's outside cheering and stuff like that for the first responders. Right on time. It's right on time. Let's go. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Thank you all. Toast to you and your excellence.
Yes.
And thank you for
Toast.
celebrating with us.
Toast.
Woo! All right.
All right.
We did it.
Yes.